The Monday Night Club with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Evening, welcome to the Monday Night Club, a 3-hour Monday Night Club this evening with Steph, Houghton, Rory Smith and Chris Sutton. And the reason it's 3 hours is because there is a huge game in the Premier League at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham against Chelsea. If the home side win tonight, they are back on top of the Premier League. It's a third London derby in a row, and Mauricio Pochettino will be returning to the club, so we'll keep an ear out for the reaction when he first makes his appearance. John Southall and Mark Schwarzer are inside the ground for us. John has the team news.
Yes, very good evening to you, Mark. Two changes for both sides from the last league game. For Tottenham, Destiny Udogie and Brennan Johnson come in for Ben Davies and Richarlison. For Chelsea, Reece James starts the league game for the first time since the 13th of August. Enzo Fernandez also returns. Mark Cucurella and Noni Madueke both drop out. And Mark, it's almost 4 years to the day since Mauricio Pochettino's last game here at Tottenham as the manager. A 1-1 draw with Sheffield United on the 9th of November 2019. It would have been inconceivable then to think that he'd come back here to anything other than a rapturous and a warm welcome. I think a lot of the home fans are conflicted. Of course, he was one of the great Tottenham managers, but his sin, of course, he chose Chelsea. I mean, surely he won't get booed tonight. But Declan Rice did at West Ham, so, you know, we'll see.
But the Declan Rice one, was there an element of pantomime there, and then they did applaud him? No?
Possibly, yeah. I think you're probably right, but I don't know. I mean, as I say, actually Mark Schwarzer sitting next to me was at the game, so he could probably.
Go on, Mark.
No, it was initially you thought that may have been the case, right, but it continued. Every time he touched the ball, he got booed. So it was a continuation throughout the remaining part of the game. And at that stage, I think West Ham were either definitely 2-0 up, if not 3-0 up by the time Declan Rice came on, and they still booed him.
It's probably harder to boo Pochettino because he's not playing as well, is he? So he can skulk away in the dugout.
Yeah, but you have to strip it back. Do football fans think like that? Do they understand that? They don't care because it's Chelsea. That's why there will be an element within the stadium who do boo it. And it is unfortunate because, you know, the job which he did at Tottenham, how hard he thought of when he was there, how he sort of really raised the profile of the club, developed the club. So there'll be most of the people within the stadium will be applauding him, though. I'm sure of that. Well, I'm not that sure.
Rory?
Yeah, no, most of the people in the stadium will not be applauding him. They might all have a soft spot for him. I think if you speak to Spurs fans, they'll tell you that Pochettino maybe in the broader game doesn't quite get the credit he deserves for what he did at Spurs.
I don't know when we start looking at positions and title races and so on and so forth, but after what happened to Arsenal at the weekend, after what happened to Liverpool, after what happened to Villa, they can put a little bit of a gap between themselves and those three.
Yeah, they certainly can. I think from all of us probably sitting here and probably at the beginning of the Premier League season, did we think Tottenham were going to do as well at the start of the season and produce the results and the performances as well to go with it? So
it does feel like there's going to be this kind of big question hanging over the team until April, May, June.
Steph, do you actually, whatever is said publicly about nothing at all, complete focus on Chelsea until there must be some kind of input, do you not think?
Potentially a little bit, but I've known Emma and obviously how amazing she's done with Chelsea and what she's done for women's football in this country. I can only imagine how she works, and that is one focus on the club. And
Monday Night Club on 5 Live, BBC Sounds, the iPlayer, the BBC Sport website and app with Steph Houghton, Rory Smith, Chris Sutton, John Southall and Mark Schwarzer at Tottenham as well. Plenty of updates, text updates on the website as well. We'll go to them shortly. It's just got underway. Goalless between Tottenham and Chelsea. Dan Maudsley has the news.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Good evening. The Metropolitan Police have asked the organisers of a pro-Palestinian rally in London on Saturday to urgently consider postponing a march over the armistice weekend as required by law.
This is 5 Live Sport, the Monday Night Club with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Rory Smith, Chris Sutton, Steph Houghton on the Monday Night Club this evening. MNC at bbc.co.uk if you want to get in touch with us, 85058 or at 5 Live Sport. Let's go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Wakey, John Southall and Mark Schwarzer.
I'm not sure what all that's about, Mark. Are you?
No, I'm fine. I've been awake the whole time, been listening to the show.
Yeah, right.
That's enough to send you off.
Had you gone to the buffet? Good spread at Tottenham, according to John Murray.
Very good. Very good. Anyway, we've kicked off. 3 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Chelsea 0. It started at quite a pace, as you'd probably expect in a game between these two sides. Remember, Tottenham will go top of the league tonight if they win this one. 26 points so far from their opening 10 games. Mark, how are you expecting this one to play out?
Well, I expect, obviously, Tottenham are the one that are certainly full of confidence, are playing better football. Chelsea have been hit and miss so far this season. However, Chelsea have started the brighter of the two. They're playing very high up the pitch and they're putting Tottenham under a lot of pressure as they're trying to play out at the back.
And I wonder if this is more suited to this Chelsea side than a Brentford, like the last game they lost 2-0 at home. We shall see. Tottenham 0, Chelsea 0.
Let's just go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. John?
5 minutes gone. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0. Kulusevski on the right of the penalty area took a big deflection, wrong-footed Robert Sanchez, and Tottenham have the lead.
Yeah, it was a break that actually Tottenham did very well. They moved the ball from one side of the pitch to the other. Chelsea opened up. Spurs stuck to their guns. Kulusevski runs inside as he has that shot. Like John said, big deflection, and actually just literally bobbles over the line.
Well, what a start for Tottenham, and the worst possible opening 6 minutes to the game for Chelsea. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0.
Back to Tottenham, John Southall.
Tottenham 2, Chelsea 0, as the flag is up on the far side. The flag is up. They will have a look at this one. Son finished it off. Johnson on the left-hand side. He whipped the ball in. Son was offside.
Right. Good luck guessing where these lines are going to be put. I think he's on there. Oh, no,
here we
hang
go.
on
It's
a
this
minute.
one here, isn't it? It's this one easy. Ooh, just off.
I tell you, well,
wow, that's very close, isn't it?
That's very tight.
Yes. It looked for the naked eye when it was unfolding in front of us. I thought he was offside. Having seen it on the replay there, Son stands upright. It keeps him possibly onside.
Well, we shall see. This could take hours.
I mean, good luck where these lines are going to be drawn from. I mean, this could be. I mean, it could be absolutely anything here. I think there's a Chelsea boot there that might be.
Wow!
Anyhow,
wow!
Should we go back to Doku while this could take ages? Offside. They've drawn the lines. And he's off.
And it's curved.
John. And it's curved, yes.
He is offside just from the other angle they've just shown us. He did look offside, Mark, but it was close.
Yeah, very close. There's another really good move from Tottenham down his left-hand side. Brennan Johnson, really good ball in behind Chelsea. Chelsea, like I said before, are still pretty much all over the place at the back.
And that's a let-off for Chelsea, because 2-0 down would have been a long way back. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0.
Good grief. There's a possibility of a red card
for Udogie on Sterling. I don't know if you're looking at the pictures. He goes in with both feet up, just catches Sterling. Mark, what do you think?
I don't think.
I'll tell you what, if he does catch Sterling, Sterling's in trouble. I mean, they've waved it on. It's just a yellow card. The referee's given the yellow card. Let's just play on now. But if it's 10-15 centimetres to the left-hand side, I think that's a red card.
Yeah, that's the right decision, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0.
Back to John Southall.
Raheem Sterling's equalised. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. Chelsea's second attempt of the game. He just persisted down the left-hand side, got a lucky reflection into his path, and somehow, Mark Schwarzer, the ball bobbled in.
Yeah, it certainly was persistence there. Pedro Porro should have done better. Looked like he made the challenge. It just ricochets back off Sterling. Sterling just keeps going and manages somehow to find the back of the net. Just before that, there was an incident. Not sure whether Romero has lashed out. Two players are still down. Romero's one of them. We'll have to wait and see the replay.
Yeah, Romero's flat on his back at the moment over on the far side. We'll have to see that one again, but just watching the replay of the goal again, he picks it up wide on the left-hand side, runs into the penalty area, gets a very lucky break there, and just he does well. It takes a little deflection off the keeper, does it, as it goes in at his near post.
Yeah, it does. I mean, Beccaria comes out there. You can see here, that's not a goal. That's going to be disallowed. Handball. That's not going to be given, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, that will certainly be looked at, and it definitely hit his arm, didn't it?
So yes. I reckon here, right, on this monitor, I reckon They're gonna go back and have a look at Romero, who's definitely kicked out at someone. But I think he's kicked out at the wrong point. I think he's been pushed over by one Chelsea player and kicked out at another.
So and then look at a possible sending off and disallowing
the goal. But because that's hit Sterling's hand and he has scored. When we talk about not knowing what a handball is, because it's hit his hand and he has scored, that will be disallowed. If it had hit his hand and he'd crossed it and someone else had scored, that probably would have stood. Is that right?
Sounds good to me.
A great rule. Just a great rule.
Well done, Mark, for being the only one who came in to answer that, because everybody else just looked blankly
I didn't want to leave you hanging, mate.
Oh, now what they're doing, John.
The goal's being disallowed by the looks of things. So the goal's being disallowed. And now we're just waiting to see what's happening with Romero. Romero's gone off on the far side. Decision, no goal, handball has come up on the big screen. And I presume they've looked at the other one, and that's okay.
Wow, that surprises me, because he does lash out.
So, and you can imagine that has gone down very well around this stadium. Chelsea had managed, they thought, to get themselves back in the game. Romero's about to come back on, so he's been cleared, and Chelsea, that goal has been chalked off. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0.
Well, not for the.
Here it is. We're going to see it again now. Does he kick out? Well, there isn't. There's definitely a kick out on Colwill there.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, because Romero clearly lashes out and hit Colwill in the back of the leg. I don't understand how that's not even. I mean, you can see it there. Yeah.
Well.
It's not a lash out.
Just to explain it as well, John. Thiago Silva pushes Romero over, who then kicks out
at
Colwill, but probably not enough to make Colwill fall to the ground as he did.
No, he may have overreacted slightly, but
he definitely kicked him.
He kicked him. Romero was on the ground and he hooked his leg around and kicked him on the back of the leg, and Colwill went down. But obviously that is not deemed a sending off.
Is it still 1-0?
It's still 1-0.
Okay, right.
Still 1-0.
Listen, good luck picking the bones out of this one again. John Southall.
Well, I think they've equalised here. Tottenham 1, Chelsea no, they haven't. Caicedo from 20 yards, thought he'd scored. It was a fantastic strike into the bottom left-hand corner, but Mark Schwarzer, the flag was up.
Well, Caicedo wasn't offside, but obviously someone else was. It was just a melee. Spurs had many opportunities to clear the ball. They couldn't clear it. Chelsea were closing down. We'll see it now on the replay. I mean, Sterling has a big touch. There's a chance for him to score. You can see now as the ball comes out the edge of the box.
Well, Sterling's standing in offside position, isn't he? And there's a player down.
Jackson possibly as well in the line of the goalkeeper. That's possibly what it is.
Maybe it's Jackson.
That's the only thing I can think of, because otherwise there's no one else in an offside position.
What a ridiculous 27 minutes.
Well, I tell you what, in all of that, Mickey van der Ven had a massive swipe.
Yeah, it could be penalty.
Missed Sterling, who went over, and Romero absolutely crunches someone. Enzo Fernandez here, and goes over the ball with his studs into Fernandez's ankle. And so at the moment they're now this could turn out to be one of the longest nights of our lives.
Well, I think he's offside.
Jackson's offside and he jumped over the shot.
Yes.
Do they check for a penalty as well?
Well, they will, I'm sure.
Two Argentinians
and maybe a red card.
Yeah, that could be a problem for Spurs.
Come back to us in 15 minutes.
Well, we'll leave you faded up so we can hear the noise of the crowd as they react to all of this, because none of it will be on the big screen whatsoever. I mean, this kind of highlights what we were saying before, doesn't it, Steph?
Yeah, I mean, did you say what day it is today? Is it now Tuesday? I don't even know what the score is in this game. There's so many decisions. I mean, is that a spiritual offside?
What's that, Rory?
So I would say spiritually that is not offside. That's a really good example of it. Like when you were a kid thinking of what offside was, is that what it looked like?
Right, so that's been given, John, as offside. Yes?
So that's offside, yeah, right. That has been given as an offside. So now, do they go back and check for a potential penalty, a potential sending off? still on the big screen it says checking disallowed goal, so they haven't got to that part yet.
And Michael Oliver's obviously being spoken to, because we can see him talking. He's got a whole variety of players around him from both captains there, Son and Reece James. They're now checking possible penalty for this. They're looking at the wrong one. They're looking at the Mickey van der Ven one first of all, who's just missed Ball and Sterling, and now they're on to Romero on Fernandes.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to be a penalty, surely.
He's going to be gone. I can't see anything else. It has to be a penalty and a red card. I mean, it's a silly challenge.
Chris?
I think it's a penalty, but I think that he will say his follow-through's a natural follow-through. He's been booked already.
No, he didn't get booked.
Did he not get booked for the first one?
No. I don't think that's he's going through. Yeah, he wants to go through.
I can't quite see how high it is. Is it?
Is that not similar to Curtis Jones that got sent off against?
Yeah, I think he's in trouble.
Now what's happening, John?
He's going to the screen. He's going to have a look. The referee,
he's off.
Michael Oliver's going to have a look, so he could well go. I think it will definitely be a penalty. That's for sure. So he's going over to the far side of the pitch.
When the ball bobbled up, you could just see it in his eyes. You could see what he wanted to do, Romero. You could see he wanted to go in there wholeheartedly. And I think he has to get a red card. Definitely a penalty, and I think that's a red card.
Michael Oliver's gone to the screen, which has begun on the freeze frame of Romero's boot halfway up Enzo Fernandez's shin.
That's a leg breaker.
And Romero's now walking over towards the screen, which I don't think is going to help his cause, really, in this.
Yeah, they're showing it again.
You don't want to see that. I mean, that's a bad challenge.
That's a horrible challenge.
That is a really bad challenge.
Yeah, Mauricio Pochettino just goes and sits back down in his dugout. I'm sure if he doesn't get a penalty and a sending off, he will be pretty livid with that. I think he's calling Romero over, is he? Oh, he's calling Son. He's calling Son over.
Well, he's probably just explained to him what he's doing.
What he's going to do. Romero's over there now with him as well. The captain and the Argentinian centre-back are both over there with Michael Oliver, the referee. He's explaining what he's going to do. I think we're going to see a red card coming out of his pocket very soon, and I think he's going to point to the penalty spot as well. He points to the spot and he produces the red card, and Tottenham are down to 10 men. Christian Romero has been sent off.
Yeah, I think he had no alternative other than to give a red card. I mean, that's a clear red card. That's a bad, reckless challenge. Doesn't need to. It's a silly challenge. I mean, not only does he obviously put his team in a difficult situation, but that is terrible. I don't know what they're complaining about.
Well, on the big screen, they've just shown the challenge, which I'm not sure is a great idea, and that hasn't helped with the fans around the stadium. Reece James has just has got the ball on the penalty spot, so he's waiting to take it. Has he gone off yet? Has Romero gone off? He's still walking backwards.
Michael Oliver's now lifting his own leg up and rubbing down his shin to show to Son where Romero's boot connected with Fernandes.
Well, Romero's on his way off. He doesn't agree with the decision. He doesn't look happy. His manager's just standing on the edge of his technical area as well. They're going to make a change. Tottenham's Eric Dyer is going to come on as Christian Romero finally makes his way off the pitch. His manager just taps him on the back, and Eric Dyer comes on, and Brennan Johnson, by the look of things, is the player who has been sacrificed, so he has gone off. And eventually, I mean, how much added time are we going to have in this half? But eventually the penalty is going to be taken by Cole Palmer, who scored 2 Chelsea goals since he arrived and had such a big impact at the club. Both of them have come from the penalty spot, and he'll take it in front of that massive wall of fans behind the goal, the wall of Tottenham supporters. You can hear the boos probably around the stadium. Vicario in all light pale blue, bouncing up and down on his line. I mean, what an eventful opening 34 minutes to this game. And Cole Palmer will take his time, steps up on his left foot, hits the post, and it goes into the far corner. Of course it does. And Chelsea have the equaliser. He puts his finger to his lips to say be quiet around the stadium, and Chelsea have equalised. Cole Palmer from the penalty spot. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. It just snuck in.
I'll tell you what, Vicario's so close and making a fantastic save. I think he gets his fingertips onto the post, goes the right way. Yeah, definitely. Almost makes a wonderful save.
What a game of football. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1.
So I reckon that was around 7 minutes.
Yeah,
that you've managed to fill for.
And we've probably got at least another 5 or 6 from earlier incidents in the half.
This was meant to be a 3-hour Monday Night Club to cover the whole of Tottenham-Chelsea. It may be 3.5 hours.
There's another one.
Let's go. There's not another one though, is there, John?
No, of course there's not. Jackson has just put it in, but he was offside. I think we can safely say that.
Yeah, it was Sterling as the ball gets played through.
Yes.
We'll see it on the replay now. He looks, he's a couple of yards offside in the initial play, and then he plays the ball square across to Jackson, who was onside, and puts it in the back of the net, but it's offside.
Jackson finished it, which he hasn't done much this season, and it came from Sterling, who was offside, so it remains 1-1.
Just been told we're not putting this show in for an award. Rory. I mean, I think if you're playing VAR new rules bingo, I think we may have just had the full house, John Southall.
And Postecoglou has joined the party. He has picked up a yellow card. As such, here comes Son just on the edge of the penalty area, and Chelsea will clear this one away. Mark Schwarzer.
Yeah, you don't see Ange lose his cool too often, but I think it was a pretty well way of losing his cool. He wasn't over
a realistic way.
Yeah, I think so. Realistic. Yeah. It wasn't like running down the touchline, yelling abuse or anything like that. He probably just gave the fourth official a bit of an earful.
Yeah, he's still standing very calmly, and as he always does in his technical area. As the score, just to remind everybody, is Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1.
So James Maddison went down at one end of the pitch but got up and was okay, I think. But at the other end of the pitch for Tottenham, John Southall?
Yeah, Mickey van der Ven has pulled his hamstring, and it looked so painful. He was chasing back with Nicholas Jackson, and it just went. And you could see him grab the back of his leg, and he is now hobbling off. So they've lost both centre-backs. Romero sent off, and now Mickey van der Ven is hobbling off with a hamstring injury around the side of the pitch. Both players have been so crucial for Tottenham this season, both ever present. Højbjerg is just about to come on as well, so they've lost a couple of key players. Is that Maddison going off?
Yeah.
Maddison's hobbling off as well. So what a first half this has been for Tottenham.
Yeah, Maddison did his ankle, didn't he? He did his ankle running into the box, no contact whatsoever. And he's struggled since then. So and then obviously Van der Ven. I mean, that's horrible. He's actually being carried off.
Oh, I mean, you could just see the pain as he held his hamstring. So he's gone off, and literally in the same minute, Maddison has gone off as well. So 3 of their key players, and you spoke before the game about the depth of their squad. Well, it's going to be tested. 1-1, 12 minutes added on.
12, okay.
12 minutes.
12 minutes, that will take us up to...
Plus that injury as well, so put another 3 on that.
Yeah. They've just had another VAR check for a red card. John.
There was a possible elbow from James on Udogie. Both went up for the ball. VAR looked at it, and it's not a red card. No sending off, still 1-1.
And there was a melee as well?
Yeah, we've had a melee as well. Colwell and Sarr were squaring off against each other. Jackson was booked for a bad challenge. Colwell tried to get the ball off Sarr. They both started pushing and shoving, and they both got yellow cards. Ridiculous.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, I watched a brawl between England and Tonga in the rugby league on Saturday. That was a brawl. That was more than a melee. I can tell you that. You'd be surprised if this stays 11 v 10, wouldn't you, Mark?
Yeah, I would be very, very surprised, I have to say. I mean, Chelsea obviously having the man advantage, haven't taken advantage of that just yet. Spurs are fighting. I mean, Colwell just there in that melee we were talking about. I don't know why he was involved whatsoever. It's crazy. They want a man advantage, just go away.
I would have thought, and that's what I was going to ask you, that Mauricio Pochettino's message to his players at half-time is surely calm down. I mean, they're making a big thing of shushing the crowd. When the goal was disallowed, they were shushing the crowd, and they're getting carried away for something when they have the man advantage.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I'm saying to John here, saying, what is Colwell doing? Why is he even involved? I mean, they've got the advantage. Just walk away. Instead, he has to actually be dragged away by his teammates.
John, do you just want to give us the details of the first half again? That started an hour ago.
I know. I'm just the goal on 6 minutes, the Tottenham goal. I mean, that seems an absolute different game away. Kulusevski on the right of the area after 6 minutes. Big deflection off Colwell. Wrong-footed Sanchez and just rolled in for 1-0. Johnson then to Son. Son thought he'd scored. That was offside, disallowed. Vicario then denied Jackson. Sterling thought it equalised. VAR looked at it. Handball. Casado 20-yarder, bottom left-hand corner, disallowed for offside. Romero challenged in the build-up to that on Fernandez. Studs up, in he went. He went off for a red card. Cole Palmer scored the penalty 1-1 off the post. Then we had Sterling to Jackson. He put it in. Sterling was offside. And we've had the injuries. Maddison's gone off with an ankle injury. And also Mickey van der Ven with a hamstring problem as well. Wow, what a half. 1-1.
Back with John and Mark. You can watch us on the iPlayer, on the BBC Sport website and app. We're on BBC Sounds and on 5 Live as well. Steph Houghton, Chris Sutton and Rory Smith on the Monday Night Club this evening. It is exactly 9 o'clock. Dan Morsley has the news.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The UN Secretary-General has described Gaza as a graveyard for children for America.
This is 5 Live Sport, the Monday Night Club with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Good to talk about FA Cup first round weekend next on the Monday Night Club with Steph and Rory and Chris.
The old management team didn't let me take it. They've actually been texting me in the last few weeks saying, "Why did you not do that for us?" I said, "You didn't let me take them." So I've always taken them throughout my career, but this is the first club I've never taken set pieces until I put myself in charge.
They're back underway in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Second half has begun, and so far I don't think you've had a stoppage, John.
No, all fairly uneventful. Tottenham won, Chelsea won. We've played 50 minutes of the game, 5 minutes in the second half. Chelsea made a change at half-time. Levi Colwell went off. Mark Cucurella has come on. One chance for Chelsea in the second half, and they are dominating possession now. Cole Palmer on the edge of the penalty area, wide of the left-hand post, but Mark Schwarzer, should he have gone to his right? Reece James unmarked.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, he should have tucked it, laid it off to the right-hand side. Reece James was making overlapping run. Instead, he goes for himself, and actually was quite a bit off target. But for Spurs at the moment, yeah, it's a little bit sitting deeper, back to the wall. They're still trying to play out. Chelsea are playing very high up and putting under a lot of pressure.
Chelsea have a free kick here on the left-hand side. 59 minutes the first half was. Let's see what we get in the second. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1.
I mean, this is a terrible link, this. Speaking of 9, John Southall.
Tottenham have 9 men on the pitch. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. Destiny Udogie has been sent off for a second yellow card. It was a rash challenge, diving in on Raheem Sterling, and another defender leaves. And Tottenham, Mark Schwarzer, are down to 9 men. Looking at this challenge again now.
Yeah, Udogie doesn't need to. I mean, Sterling's going away from the play. He's just inexperienced, rush of blood. He knows he's on a yellow. The minute he makes the challenge and gets it wrong, he's got his hands on his head. He knows he's going to go.
So they've lost Maddison, Romero, Mickey van der Ven, and now Destiny Udogie. Tottenham, they're down to 9 men. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1.
Why has he done that, Mark?
I think it's just a rush of blood. I think he feels, he must believe he's going to get it, but Sterling obviously is very rapid and gets to it just ahead of him. And like I said, the minute he slides in, he realises he's in trouble.
Chris?
It is just...
Oh, go on, you go, John.
Oh, Jackson, but he must have been about 2 yards out, Jackson, with a downward header cleared off the line onto the roof of the net. It was Hojbjerg, I think, with the clearance. Here we go, Mark Schwarzer. Let's see this again. Crosses over, Jackson into the ground. Oh, I mean, an unbelievable clearance on the line.
I mean, Jackson, I don't know what he's doing there. Jackson, I mean, he's got to just throw himself at it. I mean, he just tries to almost nudge it with his forehead. And it's great last-ditch defending by Hojbjerg.
It's not a great header, that. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1.
I just wonder if they're going to score here.
Hang on, let's go back. John?
Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. Chelsea, though, should be ahead. A really good double save by the goalkeeper, and the flag was up as well, Mark Schwarzer.
I mean, it's like, it was tight. It was very tight at the time when he gets played through. Yeah, you can see he's offside by a bit, and they'd let it play go on. And Vicario's made two really good saves. First one with his left foot, stretches, makes himself really big, and then the follow-up from Modric does very, very well.
But it's 2 great chances. I know the flag was up there, but 2 great chances for Jackson in the last 5 minutes of the game, and that has been the issue all season. Scoring the goals. Surely against 9 men, Chelsea are going to win this.
Can I just say, Mark, it's incredible that Tottenham are still, just watching on the monitor, They're actually trying to press the game. Yeah. They're playing high. They're down to 9 men. Well, this is nuts.
I tell you what, the other thing is, he wouldn't have known it at the time, Højbjerg, that Jackson was offside, but he had a real nibble at him, which wasn't going for the ball. And I mean, if he'd have gone down, they'd have checked that. Back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, John Southall.
What a save. Cucurella almost finishing. Jackson dwelt on it far too long. It was a chance, though, for Cucurella, who missed a few last week against Brentford as well. I think he just stayed onside. He broke the high line, threw on goal, and another save by Vicario, who has been outstanding in this game.
Oh, he's been absolutely incredible. I tell you what, his high line he's played along with his team has been exceptional. He's read every through ball. That instance there, it looked like it was going to be beaten, but he threw himself at the ball. He didn't just make himself big, but he actually closed the angle down and threw himself right at the ball. It's a brilliant save.
Flag goes up and Tottenham will have a free kick. Vicario goes down, wastes a bit of time here probably as well. Can they break the 9 men down? That is the question for Chelsea at the moment. It's debatable. This is how they're playing, Mark, just to tell you how the 9 men are now playing. So Porro's on the right, Emerson's on the left, Dyer and Højbjerg are the centre halves. Then you've got Skip, Bentancur and Basuma in the middle, and Son on his own up front. That is the 9 for Tottenham now. And there are 2 Tottenham players down on the floor.
If ever a man was playing sweeper keeper tonight, Mark, then it is the Tottenham goalkeeper.
He's played higher than I ever played my whole career over 20 years in one game. I tell you what, it's absolutely incredible, and he's been outstanding. I had my doubts about Vicario at the start of the season. I tell you what, today he has been incredible.
And that was a really good save. Watching that one again, I think he took a bang on the chin as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the job, isn't it? You have to take it on the chin every now and then. And you were saying before the high line that Tottenham are playing. So with Dyer and Højbjerg as centre halves, they're playing a high line. They were on the halfway line when Chelsea were literally 15, 20 yards away in their own half. That's how high they're playing. And Chelsea at the moment, honestly, I said to John, they're a bit brain dead because they are offside so many times. They've just got to stay an extra yard, 2 yards onside. They've got 2 men advantage.
They've brought on Mykhailo Mudryk as well and taken Fernandes off to try and get some joy down the wings.
How many changes have they made?
So they have made 2. They've only actually made 2. Cucurella and Mykhailo Mudryk has come on. Tottenham have used all 5. So if anybody goes off now for Tottenham, they're down to 8.
Well, because they were checking Vicario there, and then they did a concussion test, I think, on Vicario. But if he had been concussed, they would have been able to replace him, wouldn't they?
That is true, yeah. If the goalkeeper goes off with concussion, he would be, or any player, then they'd be replaced, yeah.
I mean, that's all this game needs now is Vicario to go off injured and Eric Dyer to go in goal for the last 20 minutes or something. That's about the only thing missing. Hold the thought, because it's going to take some explaining. And I'm guessing they're going to VAR check this. John Southall.
Yeah, they will do. It's Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2. They'll probably have a look and see if Sterling was offside on the right-hand side. He crossed for Jackson, and Jackson finished into the bottom left-hand corner. The Chelsea fans are celebrating, but they'll look at this one. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2. Mark Schwarzer, what is your thought on this?
My first initial thoughts were that Sterling was offside. We'll have to see him, and the linesman kept his flag down. We'll see it on the replay. It was well worked in the end. I mean, Sterling's through down the right-hand side. We'll see it now on the replay. I think he's onside. My vision's not as good as it used to be.
He's onside.
Yeah,
he's onside, and Sterling just rolled it into the path of Jackson. He couldn't miss. He put it in, and the 9 men of Tottenham trail Chelsea now by 2-1.
At some point, Steph, the high line was going to do them.
I think as well they're running from deeper, so the high line is pretty ineffective. And when you've got the speed of Sterling, it's impossible as a defender because you're trying to travel backwards and he's already going forwards. But yeah, that was the only way they were going to score.
He kind of ran off Skip, actually, didn't he? As you say, 5 yards further back. And
it's hard as well because you're probably expecting your centre half or your full back to accept the runner. But yeah, I mean, Tottenham have done really well to this point to be able to survive with 9 players anyway.
So there will be something that comes along that is whatever comes after Guardiola.
Back to Tottenham.
Eric Dyer has just put the ball in. Top right, left-hand corner. But you know what's coming next.
Oh, John.
The flag is up. The flag is up. And they're going to have a look at it. Wow. Here we go. We're having another look at it now. Eric Dyer on the back post. Wow. Well, Mark Schwarzer, what do we think now?
Well, it depends on who it's come off. I mean, I think it's come off Bentancur. What a finish, though, from Eric Dyer at the far post. We'll see now. I think it may have come off a Chelsea player last.
Brilliant finish.
What a finish
on the volley into the far corner. Fantastic. Now then, so just doing another replay of that, just to see who that came off.
I think Bentancur gets the first header, but it looks like initially it comes off a Chelsea player last.
Come back to us, Mark. This could take a while.
Oh no,
here we go. They've slowed it down. Is it Disasi? Does it come off Disasi? It's Bentancur and Disasi both going for him, and this is going to be difficult to try and fathom out who that came off last.
No, this is an easy one compared to what we've had tonight.
So the free kick was played in, but then there's a flick on, and it's between Bentancur and Disasi to see who has got the flick.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it comes off Bentancur first. Disasi's just behind him, and it may well come off him on the way through.
On our screen, they're zooming in and have managed to zoom in on the penalty spot rather than the ball.
Are they zooming in on the initial header whether Dyer is onside from the initial?
Yeah, but you can't see the ball on what they've zoomed in on.
Yeah. Well, there's booing around the stadium as we wait. This could go on for a while. We've played 80 minutes of the game. Remember the first half.
If it hits Bentancur and then hits Disasi, that he's going to be off, isn't he? Because as soon as it hits Bentancur, he's...
Well, I think
is he on at the point it hits Bentancur, but then he's off? Sorry, the other way around.
I think Bentancur gets off,
isn't he?
He's off. I think
he's off.
I think Bentancur heads it, doesn't he? By the look of it, and Eric Dyer, I think, will be offside here.
This angle, the way they're operating VAR, they keep moving how he's off.
Oh, yeah, he's just off. He is just off. This is going to be given offside, isn't it? Eric Dyer's just scored the greatest goal of his life, and it's been disallowed. It's still Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2.
John Southall, how long have you got left there?
6 minutes left.
How long?
And 6 minutes on we're just under 5.5 minutes, and then whatever is added on, it certainly won't be 14 minutes we had in the first half, we hope.
All right then.
And also, just to clarify, we've had 5 disallowed goals in this match. 5
disallowed goals, 2 red cards.
2 red cards, a whole host of injuries to Tottenham players. Incredible.
Nothing's happened at something very nearly happened then. John Southall.
Oh my goodness, Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2. It was a free kick on the left-hand side for Tottenham. Brilliant ball whipped in, and Bentancur stooping at the far post. He got his head on it, and it went wide.
Oh, that's a big chance as well. It would have been a goal. He's onside. Oh, he is missed from about 4 yards out. I mean, he tries to head the ball. It's an awkward position in the end. Oh, well, what a chance for Tottenham.
I tell you what, if Chelsea chuck this away, they'll never recover from this.
Well, that's a big
statement. Maybe they will.
The way that bounced, Mark, it's as if he wasn't quite sure what body part to get on it.
No, it was an awkward position, yeah. I mean, probably best off asking Chris what he would have done in that circumstances.
That'll be an interesting answer.
Yeah, he was sort of a little bit indecisive. He actually could have possibly gone with his chest, couldn't he, back across? But the pace of the ball, that was a difficult one for him. Oh.
So still 2-1 to Chelsea somehow. Let's just go back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, John.
Yeah, Vicario, the Tottenham goalkeeper, is down. He collided with Mudryk. Mudryk got a yellow card for it. It looks like his right knee. He's been down for quite a long time here, Mark. So you might get Eric Dyer in goal after all here. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2 still. We're just coming up to the 90th minute, and the board may well just be about to go up to tell us how many minutes we're going to have. It's going to be a fair amount, I think, as well, in this second half. It's only 5. Is that 5 or is that 9? It's 9. It's 9 minutes. What time is it now? 10 o'clock. Oh, Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2.
You kind of said, we can go back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well. You kind of sense, Mark Schwarzer, that Tottenham might end up getting more credit for this game than the team that actually win it.
100%. I mean, I was just listening to what you're saying now. I just don't remember. Here we go. Son.
Here's Son just on the edge of the penalty area. Onto the edge of the D. Son still going. Saved by the goalkeeper to his left-hand side. Son was there about 12 yards out. didn't get the cleanest connection, but Sanchez saved it. I mean, what an incredible final 5 minutes this has been from Tottenham.
Oh, just absolutely outstanding football. I tell you what, I mean, just talking about that, have you ever seen a team of 9 players perform as well as Spurs have tonight?
Here's Gallagher. Jackson can finish it off here, and he does. And that surely now is the game over. Jackson with his second, Chelsea with their third. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 3. Tottenham's resistance surely now broken.
I mean, I don't want to say this, but there might have been an offside in the build-up to that.
So I thought.
No. Eric Dyer just stood on the halfway line, Steph.
And Jackson is like 5 yards ahead of him, so as a centre-half, he can't get back in once that player's gone down the line. But yeah, we probably might as well just check that one as well. We've checked everything else.
Let's see. There's a replay now for you, John.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh no, he came from inside his own half.
Gallagher played it inside his own half. Yeah, I think that will be fine. I think they are checking it though. They're having a look. Why not? Why not? We've had 5 disallowed. Might as well have a 6.
Vicario, just the way he's played tonight, I thought he should have saved it. I mean, it was very, very close. I think he almost gave up when he thought he saw Jackson in front of him. Jackson lining up, obviously from 7-8 yards out. But Vicario, the way he's played, I was sure he was going to save it.
I mean, is there an element of you being slightly harsh, suggesting he maybe ought to have saved it when Jackson was 4 yards out?
Yeah, no, only because of the fact he's been so good tonight. And you can see by his reaction, Vicario, I think himself, he was very disappointed because
it's not
right
in the corner.
Yeah, it's right
not
next
in the
to him.
corner.
But Tottenham they're still giving this a go, Tottenham. They've got a free kick here about 40 yards out, and the home fans are still all in here pretty much, and they're still making a hell of a noise.
Well, that is Chris, that's the biggest change, isn't it? I mean, the atmosphere here, they're 3-1 down to one of their biggest rivals in Chelsea, down to 9 men, and the atmosphere, you can hear it crackling through the radio.
Yeah, and it's down to how courageous... It's down to how courageous Postecoglou is. I mean, I honestly, I haven't seen many teams play with 9 men, but I cannot ever remember a team who are numerically disadvantaged playing such a brave brand of football. I mean, it's been nuts to watch, and it's been high risk, but in many respects, it's been, it's fascinating. Mark Schwarzer knows Postecoglou well. It takes you into, Postecoglou's mindset of, how bullish he is and how he sees the game. I mean, this is pretty much unheard of what he's done tonight.
Yeah, no, he I've said it before earlier on the programme, he will not change no matter how many injuries he has, whatever happens. I mean, remember with the national team, they played away in the Middle East. It was, 40 degrees heat. It was unbearable, and they played a high line. They pressed.
Oh, my word.
Here we go. This could finish it off. Is he going to give it to Mudryk? Jackson, who goes around the goalkeeper, and he's completed his hat-trick. And Chelsea now lead by 4 goals to 1.
Yeah, he did well in the end, Jackson. He kept his calm. It looked like he was going to stumble at one point. I think he was going to lay it off. It might have been offside. Instead, he gets around the goalkeeper, and it's a very calm finish in the end.
So for all his critics and for the chances he's missed this season, he's just helped himself to a hat-trick, Nicholas Jackson. And as you can imagine, the Chelsea fans in that corner are enjoying this quite a lot. 4-1.
4-1. It looked like it came from in his own half again, but I'm sure they'll check it, and we're still waiting. There's probably another couple of minutes to go. The head of football's just sent me a text, John, to remind you you're on your way to Copenhagen tomorrow.
That is correct.
Are you going straight to the airport from there?
I'll get a couple of hours. But nothing will match this game. I'm just thinking back at half-time. I mean, some of the games between these two clubs over the years. Remember 2016, the Battle of the Bridge?
Yeah.
I mean, this whole game is not been similar to that, but it is, it's been an incredible, how many minutes we had? I was going to say 90 minutes, but it's been a lot more than that. We had 59 minutes in the first half, it's now 98 on the clock, but it's been that's it, 99 minutes on the clock, and that is it. What a night of football. Tottenham won. There's just a little bit of nonsense in the centre circle as well. Cucurella and Gallagher are down there, just being pulled away. Jackson's getting involved as well. I think he's actually now just hugging presume, Rizzy. I think that's. I think we're okay. But what a night. I mean, where do you start with this one? It was 1-1 at half-time. Kulusevski on 6 minutes. Palmer from the penalty spot. Chelsea had 3 goals disallowed in the first half. Tottenham had 1. Romero was sent off. In the second, Destiny Udogie, challenge on Sterling, second yellow card. 9 men for Tottenham. He's got a bit of apologising to do when the players come into the dressing room, I'm sure. Jackson then missed one from 3 yards. James pulled one right. Cucurella 1-on-1, saved by Vicario, who was terrific tonight. Then Sterling on the right-hand side. Jackson 8 yards out, finished it to make it 2-1. Eric Dyer had a goal disallowed, the 5th of the night. Brilliant finish as well. That one was offside. Benton Kerr in the 87th minute, header at the far post wide. Jackson tapped in to make it 3 on 94 minutes, and then finished it off to make it 4 on 97. Unbelievable night of football. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 4.
Do you still, John? Because normally what happens, just to give people an insight, is that the reporter at the game normally has to leave a report that can last 40 seconds for all breakfast shows in the morning to play across the BBC, Radio 4, All 5 Live or wherever. Do you have to leave a 40-second report on a match which has got 5 goals, 5 disallowed goals, 9 VAR checks and 2 red cards?
Yeah, I think the word is normally a tight 30, please, from that one.
We've got there in the end. It's approaching 10:15. All the reaction to tonight's game will be on 5 Live Sport Bulletins throughout the evening, and will also be on the Football Daily Pod. Thank you to Steph, thank you to Chris, thank you to Rory.